Have you ever felt like someone was whispering to you while pushing you to make a choice, but you couldn't explain why? Or maybe there were times when your gut feeling was so strong that it stopped your rational mind from talking, only to find out later that you made the right choice all along. Feelings like this are your intuition, a deep part of yourself that you don't give enough credit for. Enjoy the sixth sense, which gives you access to your intuitive power. While some audiobooks are just journeys, this one is more of an opening to a part of you that has been there the whole time, but has been hiding, ready to be found and used. In our world, logic is valued more than intuition, which is often ignored despite its strength. Maybe you don't use your sixth sense enough, but what if I told you that it's your best asset? What if this unknown force held the key to a life filled with more self-awareness, clearer thinking, and greater understanding? Starting with the next few parts, we will go on a life-changing trip to not only understand this power within you, but also make it stronger. Here, we'll talk about how to spot the signs of intuition and tell them apart from the normal thoughts and feelings that fill our minds constantly. Understanding the science behind intuition will take it from the areas of the mysterious into the real world. But this trip isn't just about learning, it's also about doing something. What steps do you take to grow this power? The mental blocks that have been blocking your inner voice need to be cleared. The answers to these questions will be explored, along with useful tools and activities that will help you improve your intuitive skills. Mindful thought, writing, and meditation are just the beginning. How to get past doubt, fear, and social conditioning. The very things that have been stopping you from accepting your intuitive self will be covered in detail. Now we'll see how to use our intuition to make decisions, finding a balance between this sixth sense and our logical thinking. Not picking one over the other, but finding a balance between the two. Finally, a dark secret is waiting to be revealed, a life-changing idea about living intuitively that has been quietly woven into the story. Along with teaching us new things, this audiobook's main goal is to change us. It aims to help you live in a more intuitive way, where choices are felt instead of just thought about, where deeper knowledge goes beyond the surface, and where you are in touch with your emotions. With this journey's end, you'll not only have a better understanding of your intuitive abilities, but also useful tools and ideas for using them in your everyday life. Therefore, are you ready to open the door to your sixth sense and discover the huge potential that resides within you? Starting this process of finding out, learning, and changing things. Understanding intuition. Learning to understand intuition is like learning a language that is very subtle but has a big effect. It's about listening in to a frequency that's always been there but may have been lost in the madness of everyday life. To fully understand intuition, we must first realize that it is not a loud, authoritative voice directing us. Instead, it is a soft push, a brief emotion, or a quiet knowing that often goes against what makes sense. Though intuition can show up in many forms, each person's interpretation is unique. Others make decisions based on a gut feeling, which is a physical experience that grips the stomach or heart. Unbearable pain when something is wrong, or unfathomable ease when things go smoothly. Others may experience intuition as a quick understanding or a flash of clarity in a scenario that was unclear before. Aha! Moments happen when puzzle pieces seem to fit together perfectly. How do you tell the difference between real intuition and your normal thoughts and feelings? Finding your intuition at this point is an art. Acknowledging your ideas, feelings, and physical emotions is the first step. Peace and confidence often go along with intuitive feelings, even if the intuition itself doesn't make sense at the time. Fear, desire, or anger don't color these feelings. They're calmer, like a whisper compared to our worries and desires, which are loud and pushing us around. You can improve your awareness by thinking about times when you had a feeling about something that turned out to be true. Recall how you felt during those times. What feelings did you have in your body? In your mind, what kinds of things were circulating? You can find trends in how your intuition talks to you by remembering these circumstances. Making time for our intuition in our busy lives is another important part of noticing it. Due to endless to-do lists and other things that can be thought about, it is easy to ignore the soft voice of intuition. Creating space can be as easy as meditating or reflecting for a few minutes every day. By getting rid of mental clutter, this exercise makes it easier to hear your intuitive voice. An additional useful tool is keeping a journal. Making a journal of your feelings and thoughts can help you see how your intuitive ideas are different from the way you usually think. This exercise can help you tune in to your intuition more clearly over time by reducing the noise in your thoughts. Additionally, practicing mindfulness, which means being fully present in the present moment, is very helpful. Observing your feelings and thoughts without judging them is what it means. As your awareness grows, it becomes easier to recognize when an intuitive feeling comes up. These feelings usually come up out of the blue and are different from your mind's normal talk. Don't forget that gaining more practice makes your intuition better. With practice, you'll be able to pick up on these minor clues more easily. It takes care and determination, just like any other skill. Being open to the events that come up and trusting the process are paramount. Being able to trust your gut is very important for noticing and following your intuition. People often go down paths that aren't normal or expected when they have intuitive thoughts. You have to have faith in yourself and the process in order to act on these ideas, especially when they go against traditional thinking. Building this trust means doing little things and watching what happens. You can trust your intuitive skills more when you act on a feeling and get good results. Separating intuition from fear is another part of being able to recognize it. Fear usually comes from bad memories or worries about the future and is loud and hard to ignore. It means to protect, but it can also mislead and limit. As opposed to this, intuition is calm and happens in the present. In contrast to causing stress or worry, it gives a sense of what is right or true. Separating these two can help you trust your intuition more. Additionally, doing yoga or focused walking can help you connect with your intuitive senses. By bringing the mind and body into balance, these tasks make it easier for intuition to grow. Better awareness of the tiny messages your body sends can lead to intuitive thoughts. You can also benefit from being in a setting and with people who support your intuition. Depending on where we are or who we're with, our surroundings can either quiet or emphasize our intuitive voice. A stronger link with your intuition can happen when you are in nature or somewhere calm and peaceful. In a similar vein, being around people who respect and value intuition can inspire you to trust and further develop your own intuitive abilities. Lastly, you need to be very patient. Developing your intuition takes time. It's a process of learning about yourself and growing as a person. It's okay to have moments when you question your intuition. Discovering new things, trying new things, and learning from each event is what matters. If you pay attention to and act on your intuition, it will become a normal part of how you make decisions over time. Overall, understanding your intuition means becoming very aware of your inner self, telling it apart from your normal thoughts and feelings, and making the right conditions for it to grow. Being aware, trusting, practicing, and being patient are all required. You'll find that your intuition is a good way to proceed on this journey, taking you to a life with more focus, purpose, and satisfaction. How science explains intuition. While intuition is often thought of as a mysterious or hard-to-explain behavior, it is firmly rooted in science. To fully grasp the scientific basis of intuition, one must explore areas of psychology, neuroscience, and even evolutionary biology. Not only does this research debunk the mystery of intuition, it also shows how important it is to how we think and make decisions humans. Simply put, intuition is a way of thinking, a quick, unconscious way of reasoning that comes from what we know and have experienced. It's how the brain uses memories, feelings, and mental abilities to make choices without the conscious mind participating. The brain's limbic system, especially the amygdala, which is involved in understanding emotions and making choices, is where this process takes place. Recent neuroscience research shows that when we face a situation, our brain quickly sorts through memories, feelings, and new information to give us an instant reaction, which we call intuition. Intuition feels immediate and sometimes hard to explain because this reaction happens more quickly than our conscious thought process. Finally, intuition is closely connected to the nervous system. An excellent example is the gut-brain axis, which is a complicated network of nerves that connect the gut to the brain. This link explains why intuitive thoughts often feel like gut feelings. Brain-like structures called neurotransmitters and neural networks are found in large numbers in the enteric nervous system, which controls the operation of the digestive tract. According to research, it talks to the brain directly and affects how we feel and make decisions. Evolutionarily speaking, intuition has been a very important way to stay alive. For quick choices in life-threatening scenarios, our ancestors counted on their intuitive feelings. Their ability to make quick decisions let them respond quickly to risks like predators or other dangers without having to think about them for a long time. Within psychology, intuition is connected to the idea of thin slicing. This term, made popular by author and psychologist Malcolm Gladwell, refers to the skill of noticing patterns in events using only small amounts of data. It's a type of intuitive understanding where the brain notices trends that aren't clear or aware. Additionally, cognitive psychology study shows that intuition is a type of recognizing patterns. Our brains build unconscious models of information based on trends we have seen or experienced. We use these models to help our brains remember how to behave and make decisions when we see similar trends again. We don't always realize that this process is going on because it happens so quickly and smoothly. Another interesting topic is how intuition and creativity work together. Finding creative solutions to problems is closely linked to intuitive thinking, according to studies. Our ability to think outside the box, connect ideas that don't seem to go together, and create new answers is enhanced by this. In artistic activities, science findings, and business creation, this part of intuition is greatly helpful. Intuition, however, is not perfect. Personal biases and heuristics, which are brain processes that can cause mistakes in judgment, can affect it. Intuitive thought and logical reasoning must be balanced in order to achieve this. Keeping this in mind is important. Intuition should not be the only thing that guides our decisions. Intuition is a complicated, diverse thinking process that is deeply ingrained in our bodies and brains, according to research on intuition. Evolutionary survival processes, mental processing, unconscious pattern awareness, and making quick decisions are all part of it. Learning is necessary for this. You can develop this way of thinking through practices like mantras, mindfulness, and cognitive retraining, which involve questioning negative views about intuition and replacing them with more positive and powerful ones. Skepticism is another notable obstacle. Although a healthy dose of doubt is good, too much of it can make it difficult to trust our intuition. Achieving a state of doubt requires a balance between being critical and flexible. Not everything can be explained or understood by reasoning alone. Regularly meditating or doing creative activities that feed your intuition can help you find a good mix between doubt and faith. Anxiety and thinking too much can also make it hard to use your intuition. Intuitive ideas are hard to come by when our minds are full of fears and thoughts. Managing stress with deep breathing, yoga, or gradual muscle rest can help clear your mind. Additionally, doing things that keep you completely involved, like sports or the arts, can help you stop overthinking and make room for your intuition to show up. Our intuitive skills can also be harmed by emotional blocks like unsolved experiences or repressed feelings. The gentle voice of intuition can be drowned out by these mental problems. Dealing with these problems might need professional help, like therapy or counseling. You can also deal with and let go of these feelings by writing in an emotional journal, doing art therapy, or practicing mindfulness. The suppression of intuition is frequently influenced by social training and traditional views. It's common to be taught to value logic over feelings, which can make us feel disconnected from our intuitive selves. Becoming free of this training means actively noticing and questioning these deeply held beliefs. Additionally, being around people who value and support your intuition can assist you in re-establishing this link. Intuitive clarity and physical health are intertwined. Intuitive sense can be distorted by a poor diet, lack of exercise, and lack of sleep. To get past intuitive blocks, it is therefore very important to take care of your physical health. Adequate rest, a healthy diet, and regular physical exercise can greatly improve mental clarity and intuitive awareness. Lastly, working through intuitive blocks takes time and practice. It takes time and steady work to develop intuition. They can be easily removed by regularly doing things that boost your intuition, being kind to yourself, and enjoying small wins. Achieving intuitive blocks means dealing with the mental, social, physical, and external issues that get in the way of our intuitive skills. Being open-minded, dealing with worry, working through mental problems, fighting social training, taking care of your physical health, and practicing with patience and consistency are all parts of it. Dealing with these issues will help you live in a more intuitive way and make choices that are in line with your deepest truths. Using intuition to make choices. Decision-making relies on intuition, which provides a unique and often ignored point of view that can support logical analysis. Figuring out the worth of intuitive thoughts is important for making well-rounded choices in a world where data-driven choices are becoming more common. Figuring out how to combine intuition with logic means knowing its limits and strengths. Our intuition helps us make choices by processing information in our minds. In contrast to the conscious mind, which processes information in a rational and straight order, the intuitive mind can process many pieces of information at once and almost instantly. When there are too many factors for the conscious mind to properly consider, this lets the subconscious mind make decisions quickly. Unfortunately, intuition isn't always right, and it's important to know that. Beliefs, events, and feelings can affect how intuitively you make choices. In high-stakes scenarios, it is especially important to think seriously about intuitive observations. It doesn't mean ignoring intuition, it means looking at it along with other facts and logic. 2 steps are needed to find the right balance between intuition and logical analysis. Let's start by recognizing your intuitive knowing. Think about how you feel about the choices before making a choice, feeling strongly about one of them. Does one option stand out, even if you can't say why right away? To use these intuitive cues in your decision-making, you must first be able to recognize them. Step 2 is to evaluate these intuitive ideas using logic. That means looking at the decision's facts data, and rational reasons. In addition, it means being aware of any biases that could affect your intuition. Were your past events or emotional responses affecting how you feel about the decision? Does reasoning support or contradict your intuitive insight? You can make better, more balanced choices by examining both your intuition and your logical thinking closely. Incorporating intuition into making choices also takes practice. A skill like being able to combine intuition and logic betters with practice. Starting with small choices, watch what happens. Feeling more sure and at ease with your intuition will help you make bigger choices in the future. Establishing a setting that encourages intuitive decision-making is another important factor. Avoiding worry and other distractions can help you be more intuitive. Assisting in clearing the mind for intuitive decision-making are activities like mindfulness, meditation, and spending time in nature. Additionally, you should have faith in the method. To trust your intuition can be hard, especially in a society that values thinking a lot. Developing this trust is important for making intuitive choices, though. Note that reasoning and intuition don't contradict each other. Instead, they support each other. Collectively, they can help people make better and more complete decisions. Integrating intuition into decision-making means noticing and valuing intuitive insights, matching them with logical analysis, practicing regularly, making an environment that is good for it, and building trust as you go. Doing so will help you use all of your decision-making skills, allowing you to make choices that are not only well thought out, but also deeply in line with your inner knowledge. Intuitive living's dark secret. More than just making decisions based on your gut is needed to practice intuitive living. Aligning your whole life with your inner knowledge is what it's all about. This method is based on a well-kept secret. Intuition is a way to become more real, self-aware, and in tune with the world, as well as a tool for decision-making. You are always in touch with your true self and your surroundings when you live naturally, according to this secret. Awareness of oneself is the first step toward living intuitively. Understanding your core values, beliefs, wants, and fears is necessary. Knowing yourself well is the basis of intuitive living because it helps you tell the difference between your own thoughts and feelings and those that are affected by things like social norms or other people's views. Developing this kind of self-awareness requires practices like honest self-reflection, deep meditation, and mindfulness. The next step is to develop a profound trust in your intuition after you have a strong sense of self-awareness. This trust isn't wishful thinking or gullibility. It's based on the knowledge that your intuition shows you who you really are. Allowing external approval to go and instead seeking direction within oneself is what it means. Allowing your intuition to play a part in all of your choices does not mean that you disregard outside help or sound thinking. An important part of living intuitively is accepting that everything is linked. Often, our intuition talks to us in a way that goes beyond words and mental understanding. If you're in the right place at the right time, you may experience synchronicities or a sense of important events. Appreciating and recognizing these times strengthens your link to the world and your faith in the path, even if you can't see where it's leading you. Loving intuitively also means learning to go with the flow of life's rhythms. Understand that life is always changing and that being too rigid with plans or goals can make you unhappy. Using intuitive living means paying attention to the rise and fall of your own energy and the energy of the world around you, and making changes as needed to stay in balance. Accepting your weaknesses is also part of the hidden secret. Giving up what you know and facing the unknown are common parts of intuitive life. Staying open to new experiences, ideas, and points of view is part of it, even if they go against what you already believe or take you to a place you've never been before. Vulnerability is not a problem. It's a skill that helps you grow and connect with others more deeply. Being intuitive also means finding balance. Integrating your intuition with your logical mind, feelings, and body is what it's all about. Recognizing that intuition is a strong guide, it works best when used in balance with all of your being. Finally, intuitive living's best-kept secret is that it helps you live an honest life. Staying in tune with your inner knowledge helps you make more honest decisions, actions, and relationships. Your life starts to reflect who you really are, not what you think you should be. This honesty gives a unique sense of peace, satisfaction, and happiness. Life that is intuitive is more than just a skill. It's a way of being. It's about knowing yourself, trusting others, being linked to everything, going with the flow of life, being open to being vulnerable, finding balance, and living with integrity. Once you know and accept this secret, your intuition will work at its fullest, and your life will be guided by knowledge and full of purpose and meaning. Looking back on the deep thoughts and life-changing information we've learned in the 6 senses, unlocking your intuitive power as this journey comes to a close is important, starting with learning to recognize the whispers of our inner voice. This book has been a trip into the depths of intuition. It ended with teaching us how to live naturally. We started by talking about what intuition is and how to spot it. The intuition is a strong but subtle inner guide system that is deeply rooted in our mind. It talks to us through our senses, our emotions, and a knowing that does not always make sense. Finding your intuition means paying attention to these small signs, telling them apart from your normal feelings and thoughts, and making time in your busy schedules to listen to your inner voice. Looking into the science behind intuition, we found that it's not just a feeling, but a complicated way of thinking. It's the quick, unconscious processing of knowledge using memories, feelings, and mental abilities. Once we understand it better, intuition becomes less mysterious and more useful for helping us make decisions. Our next topic was real ways to improve our intuitive skills. Leading practices like thoughtful meditation, writing, artistic activities, and improving emotional intelligence were emphasized. Additionally, these activities not only boost our intuition, but also make us feel better mentally and emotionally. It's not easy to become intuitively proficient, though. Fear, doubt, worry, mental blockages, social training, and poor physical health are some of the things that can block intuition. Clearing these obstacles is necessary for intuitive growth and includes self-awareness, critical thinking, stress management, emotional healing, questioning social rules, and taking care of oneself physically. After that, the trip took us to the world of making choices, where we learned how to balance intuition with reason. Discovered that using intuition in decision-making means noting our intuitive thoughts, looking at them along with rational analysis, and doing this regularly. Finding this balance helps people make better, more thorough decisions. The journey ended with the secret to living intuitively being told. We learned that intuitive living means shaping our whole way of life to match our inner guidance. Living truly means being self-aware, trusting our intuition, recognizing how everything is linked, going with the flow of life's rhythms, being open to being hurt, finding balance, and accepting our vulnerabilities. You can open a life that is not only wise, but also full of purpose and meaning by uncovering this secret. Allow your 6th sense to lead you to a life of better choices, deeper understanding, and greater self-awareness. Trust it, feed it, and encourage it. Individuals have their own unique paths to intuitive living, but the goal is always the same: a life filled with truth, meaning, and happiness. I appreciate you joining me on this journey, wishing you the light of your own inner knowledge to guide you.